Yoda. So recently, Watchmojo has put out a video titled Top 10 Hololive VTubers You Need to Watch. And it has been quite controversial within the VTuber community as a whole, for a plethora of reasons. Now, the thing about rating VTubers is that you don't rate VTubers. Each VTuber is so different, they have different personalities, they have different things that they do, and to say that one is strictly better than another is just not right. That being said, Pygmy is better than all the rest of them, but otherwise, you can't just rate them and say, you know, oh, this one's better than this one, and this one's bad, and this one's really good, because, you know, they're all so different. So right off the bat, even from the title, I'm getting a pretty good idea of why this video hasn't been very accepted within the community, why some people have an issue with it. But I thought, you know, we should just watch it and create our own verdict, and I'll let you guys know my thoughts on it. Before we start, be sure to like and subscribe and all that. I know it has been a pretty decent amount of time since my last video, and the reason for that is I have been quite busy moving into my new video production studio. So welcome to the new studio for Tommy Lamau Video Productions. Now, I know you're thinking this just looks like a college dorm, but I assure you that this is the studio for Tommy Lamau Video Productions. May also be a college dorm. Either way, thank you for your patience, and I'm hoping to be putting out a lot more videos in the near future. So anyways, why don't we get started watching Watchmojo's Top 10 Hololive VTubers You Need to Watch. Let's see what they have to say.
We're ranking the VTubers under the banner of the Hololive name that have dominated the cybersphere over the last few years, based on their impact, popularity, as well as a few personal choices. Keep in mind.
Okay, based off their impact, popularity, and a few personal choices. Okay, so this is trying to more or less portray itself as an objective list, which is a little bit weird. If they just said, you know, this is just our favorite ones, then I'd say that'd be passable, but it's trying to go for these are the best ones based off of these sort of guidelines.
An elf providing all the singing, gaming, and ASMR goodness you could want, there was a time where Aki Rose's online career was spiraling into a swan song. While beloved by a core...
Okay, time out. Spiraling into a swan song. Aki Rosenthal was not gonna quit VTubing. Okay, so what I assume they're referring to was for a pretty... So what I assume is what they're referring to is for a fairly long time, Aki was the least subscribed Hololive person, up until a clip kind of went viral where she talked about, you know, how she felt about that whole situation, and you know, just all that stuff. That being said, while she was somewhat less popular than the rest of the Hololive people, under no circumstance was she saying that she was going to quit or was in danger of being fired, maybe is the implication there. But spiraling into a swan song is just such a weird and inaccurate way of describing it. I'm a little confused, honestly. But...
While beloved by a core audience due to her lovable nature and pioneering of VTuber Let's Plays of Ark Survival Evolved, Aki's channel had a dangerously low number of subscribers, all due to her having to take a...
Okay, I don't agree with that either. Dangerously low. Dangerously low implies how potentially she'd get, like, fired or something. Or like she wasn't making enough money to survive, maybe? I don't know. I feel like there's like a strange sort of implication there, saying, you know, how basically she was in jeopardy of something happening because of her low number of subscribers, but that just wasn't the case. I mean, even before she blew up, she still had a pretty large number of subscribers. I mean, compared to the other Hololives, not as much, but it wasn't like she was not getting any views or anything like that. She was still making enough money, and yeah, there was no expectation that she'd quit or get fired or anything like that. So dangerously low is a pretty terrible way of putting it.
Long leave of absence because of medical problems. So what happened? Her fans rallied together and practically doubled her subscriber count overnight.
Thank you! Oh, thank you!
And in doing so, assured her place amongst Hololive's pantheon. Good thing too.
What? Assumed her place within the Hololive pantheon? She was already in Hololive. I don't understand. Is the implication that she's about to get kicked out? I mean, it's kind of a semantics thing, which arguing about is kind of dumb in its own right, but I mean, saying because of her subscriber growth, she assumed her position within the Hololive pantheon, that's just so dumb. She was already in Hololive. It's not like there's any suggestion that she wasn't. It's just so weird. I don't know. Alright, so Botan's number 9. So you're here to hear, folks. Botan is better than Akiro's, just, you know, based off this list. And this is an objective list, you know, it's not saying, you know, it's not like it's just this person's personal list. This is an objective top 10 list. So Botan's just better than Akiro's, I guess. I'm not sure why. They do completely separate things. Akiro's plays Arc, and Botan plays FPS games mostly. They're so different, but this one's just better, you know? Okay, so Kiara's at number 8 then, which I guess she's better than Botan and Akiro's.
Bringing sunshine and madness wherever she goes, Kiara is very much the chaotic chicken of the group.
You say one more time that I am a chicken.
We would say that everything about her is pure.
I'm not saying whoever wrote this doesn't watch Hololive, but if you gave me like 2 minutes to write a script for top 10 Hololive VTubers you need to watch, it would probably be something like this. Like it's just an awkward kind of video. I don't know. I don't like to use the word cringe very often. Well, yes I do, but this is kind of cringe.
Big Discord cringe. We went, oh no.
Like it or not, you won't be able to get
So Pekora
Peko
7,
out of your
I guess.
head
I mean,
after you
look, I'm not saying that any of these people shouldn't be within a top 10 list, but I'm saying within a certain top 10 list. I'm not saying like the top 10 list, because I just hate the implication of this video saying, oh, this is like, these are the top 10, these are the best ones, you know. Anyone not on this list isn't as good or whatnot. Like, I just so strongly disagree with this video's existence, basically. I don't know. You can put like your top 10 favorite VTubers, that's fine, but saying like the top 10 best VTubers in the Hololive or whatever is just, in my opinion, I don't know, it's just not a good look.
Number 6, Gaokura.
What? Okay. I don't understand the placings on this list. Okay, they said what? The 3 things they're looking at is impact, popularity, and a few personal choices, right? I mean, based off of popularity, she'd be number 1. On impact, she's also pretty close to number 1, just because of how popular she is and how many people she brought into VTubing, right? Because she's like kind of the face of VTubing in some ways. So she's pretty close to the top of those lists in both those regards, right? And personal choice, it's whatever. But I don't get it. If this list is saying like, oh, these are the guidelines, this is what we're basing it off of, and then you put Gura all the way down at number 6, that just makes no sense. Because Gura's the most popular VTuber. She's probably realistically one of the most impactful ones. It's maybe like Coco number 1, and then like arguably Gura number 2, or something like that, right? She's super high up. I mean, by far in popularity, she's by far the most popular VTuber. At least, especially in Hololive, because number 2 is Kizuna. Like, I don't know. What's the point even giving those parameters of like popularity, impact, personal choice, if Gura is number 1 in popularity, super high in impact, and then she's all the way down here in the list? It just makes no sense. And I'm not like a Gura simp or anything, I'm just looking at it objectively. Like this list is trying to be objective, then clearly Gura would be within like the top 3 at least. And again, you can't really make an objective top 10 list, because that's just stupid. But if it's just doing it based off of popularity and impact, then Gura is so obviously closer to number 1. And these are like the most vague descriptions of each of the Hololive. Like, oh, this one's like funny and energetic. This one's like kind of witty or whatever. It talks so little details about the actual personalities. It's kind of cringe.
For 5, Uzora Subaru.
Wait, what?
Uzora Subaru.
Did he just say Uzora Subaru? Let me get that one more time.
Number 5, Uzora Subaru.
Okay. If you're gonna make this list, at least get the names right. You can at least do that, I feel like. Come on, Watchmojo. I mean, Just get the names
Who
correct.
has steadily continued to excel and gain new following, especially when it comes to the overseas bros. Not sure if it's due to all the shuba,
I mean,
or they're
I don't
just
know
a really big fan
specifically
of this
because of overseas. I mean, Super's channel, it doesn't actually have that much content for overseas people, but I don't know, whatever.
sausages. Number 4, Maury Calliope.
That said so little about
I'll take it, deadbeat.
Super. Also, they mispronounced Calliope again.
Number 4, Maury Calliope.
Yeah, it's
I'll
more
take it, I'll take
Calliope.
it, deadbeats, I'll take it. It's
But
not the mountain.
all right, well, Maury's better than Kiara. You heard it here, folks. I mean, this just and Gura for that
Deadbeats,
matter.
Where you at?
So in order, it's apparently Kiara. What do you call it? No, it's Gura's better than Kiara, and then Maury's better than Gura. So there you go. We can finally stop debating which one's the
Sliced her way
best.
onto the scene with a mixture
Because
of
Watchmojo
deadpan
really got
humor,
it.
adorable interactions with a certain chicken, and a myriad of talents. All of which combine to make her a force to be reckoned with and adored. From artwork to gameplays to ASMRs,
Force to be
Callie's
reckoned with.
appetite for branching out into new things seems to be truly bottomless. Oh, and she also spits fire.
Why did that sound so weird?
Her music, especially her rap game, is beyond amazing, with each new song only further cementing her status as a modern VTuber sensation. Anything else worthy of mention? Well, there was that one time she started the great super chat war between Canada and the USA.
Gazar says I won't let America lose.
I'm
to
not
Canada.
sure she started that. I feel like they started that themselves, and then it just happened to be in Maury's stream because she made no attempt to further it. And out of all the things to bring up within the
Number
Maury
3.
Calliope like description is, oh yeah, they had the super chat war. Like, there are probably like 100 better things to talk about within her segment. Oh, and Kiryu Coco is number 3, I guess. So they're just,
She's obsessed with
I don't know. I mean, if I were to put it at top 10, I wouldn't say that Coco's placement wouldn't be like strictly speaking, if I were to do a top 10, I'd probably put Coco probably close to where she's at here. But I don't know. The idea of saying like, you know, these are the VTubers that are better than Coco, these are the VTubers that are worse than Coco, it's just so dumb in my opinion. If the problem is, like, the worst thing is, like, if this was just framed as, oh, this is who we like the best, like, these are Watchmojo, like, I'm the person speaking, these are my picks, I just like these the best, but, you know, it's up to, it'll be different for each person, then that's fine, you know, that's whatever. It's kind of weird to do, but if you're just putting out your own personal top 10 list, I see nothing wrong with that, right? But the problem is, it's saying, like, these are the best ones, these are objectively the best Hololive people to be watching. And you can say, and you can look at this list and say, oh, this one's better than the one behind it. It's just such a bad look, and I just hate it.
with a certain Yakuza member, took great delight in dragging her fellow VTubers along for the ride. Coco truly was one of Hololive's shining stars, and the absence left by her retirement can still be felt. We miss you, Coco, you beautiful crazy dragon.
I see your mama.
Number 2.
Okay. I feel like they did such a terrible job with Coco's segment in particular. I mean, they didn't talk anything about how she was responsible for Hololive EN. Like, I mean, basically didn't talk about how she more or less was single-handedly responsible for VTubing, for the popularity of VTubers in the West. Didn't talk about how all of her efforts to support the future generations after her. I mean, it just like barely scratches the surface of Coco's impact, and
Shirokani
it just doesn't sit
Fubuki.
right with me there. And Fubuki's better than Coco, by the way.
I'm a spider.
I guess. I don't know. Some people may think that,
There was
but
a time where
just
this
saying
snow
that
cat
this is
fox
true,
was
it,
the undisputed
like,
queen
is
of
stupid,
Hololive,
and I
it's
hate
not
it.
hard to see why. She's. Before we reveal
Okay,
our
but-
number 1 pick, here
Sure.
are some Hololive VTubers more than worthy of your time and reckless devotion. Akai Hato.
じわじわ来るタイプなんだこれ。いやさすがに吐きはしないだろ。いった。
So Hato doesn't make the top 10. That's pretty interesting.
Nekomat.
I mean, I guess, you know, it depends what you're basing it off of. I mean, what this list is based off of is essentially nothing because they don't really base it off of it. But as far as like, because if you were to like make a different list and say like, oh, this is based off of like how creative they are, then probably Hachima would be like number 1 or close to it, right? If you're doing a list on how consistent they are, then she wouldn't be, obviously, right? But this list is just, it's based off of just arbitrary stuff and it's not even followed, but then it's just described as, you know, like the correct ranking of them, you know, like the objective ranking, and that's just so stupid. I don't know, I've been saying the same thing over and over again, but this list just does such a bad job in general.
Ninomai Inanis.
Is it time for a quick straw poll? No, not birthday suit, you dirty-minded people. Stop.
That's the clip they're using?
Punch.
Okay, also, I just noticed they included every Hololive EN, I think, right? Because they had, well, they didn't have
Go
Watson.
Marin. Honsho Marin. Honsho Marin. Honsho Marin. Watson Amelia.
Oh, okay, so they have all of EN in here, I guess. So I guess the implication is that EN is just better than JP because all of EN is in here. So I don't know. I guess they're saying that EN's just better and more talented, which I don't know. I mean, I do think EN's great and all, but like putting this many EN within this list is kind of crazy. I had a feeling they put Corona number 1, but I don't know. All right. Let's try to do what this video does and look at it objectively, right? And I mean, even though I think these 3 categories for placing the VTubers are dumb as hell, popularity, impact, personal choice, right? Popularity, Gura is clearly number 1. Corona is pretty up there, right? Impact, I'd say maybe like, if I were to do it personally on the spot, I'd say maybe like Coco, Gura, right? And then like, I don't know, I guess if personal choice is like by far the most important, then sure, you give it Corona like all the way at number 1. But if you're doing this list and you're basing it off of what they said it was based off of, then I can't help but feel like Guru would be number 1. And this isn't to say that, you know, I wouldn't put Corona within my top 10, and I absolutely would. But I don't understand this list. It's just so weird.
Yes.
It's like I keep trying to rationalize how it could make sense, but it just doesn't.
Do you agree with our picks?
Okay, and so why don't I just give some closing thoughts on this whole thing, right? I'm sure many people's top 10 Hololive list is probably either exactly this or kind of close to what this list has, right? But that's not every list. And saying this is like the top 10 Hololive list is just stupid. It's so dumb. It makes no sense. It's weird. I don't know why they did that. If I were to give my own personal list, I will say it would be fairly different than this list, right? I'd have like some of the same people. I'd probably have a pretty decent amount of the same Hololive people on the list, but it would be quite different. Rating VTubers is dumb. It doesn't make sense. You shouldn't do it. It's just a dumb thing to do, especially to an audience of 23.9 million people. I mean, that's just about as bad as you can get. It sets a bad precedent. It's just a weird, not good thing. Even like the categories they mentioned doesn't really make sense. Why would you rate them based off of popularity? That's just a dumb thing. Impact, that's fair. Personal choice, that's fine. But like, creativity is a big thing. You know, consistency is a big thing. Talent is obviously a pretty big deal that they don't talk about at all. And another thing, let's go back to the ENs, right? Saying that, who's the number 1? I think they put Mori as like the best EN. Right. What Mori does is rapping and playing games, right? Let's say what Ina does is primarily drawing, and she also plays games and all that stuff. But rapping versus drawing, 2 completely different things that they do. They have 2 completely different personalities. Saying Mori is in the list, is in the top 10, and putting Ina as an honorable mention, like why? Why would you do that? I don't understand. And this isn't to say that Ina's better than Mori or Mori's better than Ina. They're 2 different people and they do 2 completely different things. Rating them and putting one over the other is just a dumb thing. I don't understand it. And their system of rating is also stupid as hell. So I just don't like the premise of this video. I think it's super dumb. And I completely understand why everyone has been giving this video a lot of shit. I think it's stupid. I think it's a stupid video that should not have been made, is the idea here. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think this video is fine? Do you agree with me? You think it's dumb and it shouldn't be out there? Let me know. Thank you for your patience over this kind of bumpy ride so far. Moving into college and readjusting has been a bit of a process, but we're back, and hopefully I'll be putting out more videos for you guys to enjoy within the near future. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you did. And Mata Tommy, I don't know if I'm going to be using that from now on. Otherwise, I don't know how to end this video. So Mata Tommy.